Good morning, my artsy friends. Happy Monday. Welcome to our regularly scheduled Monday morning live. My name is Ken Johnson. I'm your thrifty apprentice, and I am very happy to have you all here with me this morning. Now, I have my coffee, I've already brewed. I've got everything sitting around me, I do believe, so that I don't have to get up. But if I do, you guys know I won't mind at all. All right, so let's start off with talking about. Well, first, let me start off with a great big thank you. Thank you to each and every person for all of your condolences, all of your positive energy, all of your well wishes. Those of you who emailed me to check on me and sent me DMs. I mean, the love was completely overwhelming. Um, I teared up several times from different messages and different emails. Just thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart for the love and support that you showed during that little rough time for my family. It's greatly appreciated, and it only confirmed for me why I do the things I do and why I like doing the things I do. We have an awesome, supportive, and talented art community that I'm so happy to be a part of. And again, thank you guys. Today's live is about me taking time to expand my Master Gansai Tambi palette. Now, I have not been lucky enough to purchase the complete range. And it comes in a beautiful, like, wooden box. It's so cool. It's just rather expensive. And I've kind of been debating back and forth about whether I was going to get it. And the reason I keep hesitating about doing it is because I'm kind of building a palette of my own. And I think maybe this will be the way I continue to do it. But what we're adding to that palette today is the granulating colors too. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we've already added the first granulating color package, color set to the overall palette. So here we have five colors plus one pan, which was basically the way set one came. Comes with one empty pan, of course, water-based pigment made by Kuretake, established in 1902. You have one, two, three, four, five colors. These are the cosmic red, cosmic olive, cosmic green, cosmic blue, and cosmic violet. Apply water brush with color to activate. Gansai pens may exhibit cracking due to extreme dryness. However, it does not affect their quality. Occasionally, Gansai pen texture may look rough due to tiny air bubbles, which may occur during production, which does not affect their quality. I actually love the fact that they put that in there. I mean, they let you know that up front. Not intended for use by children. When in a store, keep Gansai pens horizontal with palette facing upwards. I wonder how many stores actually do that. Do not leave in direct sunlight or in high temperature. Do not use for a purpose other than it is intended. Wash your brushes after use. Make sure palette is dry before storing. And it gives their address, lets you know that it's made in Japan, the AP seal of approval, a UPC code. Uh, the colors of these Gansai The colors of these Gansai watercolors separate to create whimsical and dreamy effects. The degree of color separation and blurring may vary depending on the type of paper used. You can enjoy greater changes in color by dissolving the watercolors in lots of water and letting the colors separate on your palette before painting. Letting the colors separate on your palette before painting, it takes away from the fun of watching them separate on the paper. But that's just their suggestion. So let's go ahead and pop these open. Of course, they're just in a regular cardboard box. This is exactly the way their first set came. Very economical. I'm pretty sure we'll check out the price of them before it's all said and done. So here we have the cardboard sleeve, which is how they typically come. It does have the color name for each one of them up under it and the color number across the top. Now, let's grab a pen here. You got your traditional Gansai Tambi style pan, or should I say Gansai style pan. The formula for these looks a little different than normal Gansai pans, but they do have the shine, that little gloss on top as you would expect it to. Um, Per usual with them, on the back of the pen, you're going to get the color number as well as the color name, which makes it easy for future reference because I'm pretty sure they know most people are not keeping these boxes. Um, Now, all of the pens don't have the name on them, but all of the pens do have the color reference number, and you can always go to the Gansai site in order to cross-reference your numbers if you need to discover um, what color you have per se. All right, so I have my 100% cotton paper here that we are going to be doing swatching on, and we're actually going to be making a master swatch sheet today. So buckle down. If you got some painting to do, if you got an art project to work on, now is the time to go ahead and grab it so that you can kind of be artsy as we do this, as you hang out, and as we talk about Gansai paints. So here is the master palette I have so far. So this is a palette that was made from this was a kid's art thing that had, like, the color pencils and the pastels and the cheap tube paints and things. And this tin is by Art Creation. So I just pulled out everything that was in it. And I started this collection off with the original 18 set of Gansai paints that was very popular. And that set was actually sent to me by Diane Zimmerman, the owner and operator of Watercolor Beginners, and is it Watercolor Beginners and Beyond? Really popular Facebook group, really popular on Instagram as well. And that was years ago when I first got started in testing like fine art products, and she kind of wanted to help me out, so she sent me that set. Since then, I've added several other things to it. The Art Nouveau set has been added to the original 18 set. The first granulating set, which I think was called the Aurora colors, and I think this line of colors here is added in here. Their graphite colors are added in here. And this line, I want to say, is Boko Undo. I don't think this is Kiritaki Genzei Tenbai. I think these are Boko Undo shadow colors right here. So that particular row is not necessarily Kiritaki. So we're going to be adding these in. Now, I guess it would make sense to add them in next to the Aurora colors, and I can move that all around later on. Right now, I just add them in up here. So, because on this end, I think what I have is the 18 original colors. This is the graphite colors that they released. This is the first granulating set, the Aurora colors. These are the Art Nouveau colors, because I think it was 24 in that set, if I'm not mistaken. And then this would be the granulating set two, the cosmic colors. So we're going to add them in here. Let me see if I can grab, um, let me see if I can grab some, what am I thinking about? Magnetic tape. Oh, and we're going to actually talk about Palm Street before we get off, because that's coming up, and I want to make sure that everybody understand what's going on, what all we're going to be doing, how to access things, and all that goodness. Um, I noticed that some of you guys have already kind of went to visit the advertisement for the live and hit the notification bell so that you can be reminded, because it does let me know when that happens. So I think it's so cool that some of you guys have already kind of bookmarked the live so that you can join. So thank you. That's so cool. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut off a couple of strips here. I do cut these, of course, Not as long as a half pan, but I do kind of try to make them long enough to make sure that it's going to hold the half pan down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Um, and these empty hand pans, I'm not sure why they give the empty half pans, but I need to make sure they stay stuck down as well. I don't think they make a tube formula of these. I don't think they do. So I don't really necessarily get the empty half pan thing. Maybe it's if you make your own. I don't know. If somebody know, jump in the chat and let me know. And I want to try to make this as quick as possible if I don't struggle getting the backing off of. No, I don't want to cover up. See, I have to make sure that I put the magnetic strip in a certain place because I don't want to cover up the name or color number there. Okay. And we're going to swatch these, and then I'm going to have to go through and pick each one up and look at the back and pull the color names, and also I can make a master swatch sheet for this palette. Now, I had one at one point. I'm pretty sure I did. I think that it's been about a year, maybe a year and a half ago that I made that video, and I cannot for the life of me tell you where that swatch sheet is. I pulled out all the swatch sheets I have, and I have several different swatching books. And I don't know. Now I did have some stuff that didn't have any labels on it. It could have been one of those. And that's something else I need to make sure I start becoming better at writing the artist information on the swatch sheets and labeling the swatch sheets. That's the whole point. Um, and I keep mine. Of course, I keep all of mine for comparison uh, reasons because I do review videos. This is not taking too long. What's going to take all the time is swatching all these big babies. Okay. I'm going to check the comment section in just a second. Let me get these down. I'll check the comment section right before I start swatching. Because once I start swatching, I don't plan on looking up because it's a lot to swatch. Um, I'm not going to worry about pre-wetting these. I typically don't have any issues with Gansai paints, Kiritake paints. Kiritake tend to make good products, in my opinion. Now I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. Do I want to swatch it in sets? Do I want to move everything around into round? Or no, I'm not gonna move anything. It's just like I want to move everything around into rainbow order. I think I'm just gonna leave them in the sets and swatch them in the sets like they are, and that'll be just fine. And see, this is here like the back of the box warns you that the formula will crack. I like the fact that they let you know that though. The great thing is the formula will crack, but the paints don't fall out like a lot of cheap quality paints will when they crack. The formula of Gansai doesn't, they don't fall out, which is so super cool. All right, I am going to see how are we going to arrange this on camera. Uh, let's see. I do believe I can zoom out. Let me get some stuff moved around. Oh, look, let me show you this. Look at this little thing. This is the brush that Sennelier had the nerve to include in that La Petite Aquarelle palette. I opened that palette and saw that little brush down the middle chamber and was like, what is this toothpick? What is this? It's so cute, but I don't even think I could paint with it. I mean, maybe as a liner or something. I don't know. I just can't see it being very useful for much. um, Not like maybe say now had they thrown in a number 8 pull apart, a number 6 pull apart, or even a water brush, which the heads of those tend to be somewhere between 4 and an 8, depending on who put it in there. Let's see. Nope, it won't let me move out anymore. It'll let me zoom in, but it won't let me move out. Okay, so we'll start swatching with this end. We'll swatch the 18, we'll do the Art Nouveau, and then we'll make sure we swatch the granulating sets right beside each other. So we'll start on this end. And as you guys know, Gansai Tambi paints are what I call hybrid watercolors. They can serve as a watercolor, but they can also be applied thickly and used in like a gouache kind of format. Now, the formula of Gansai, if you're not used to it, can cause and will cause the paints to leave a shine when layered too thickly. Anyway, okay, let me see. I'm gonna do this. Trying to get myself all put together here. Um, so I can. Ooh, I'm thinking maybe I'm only gonna get 2 on here, maybe 2 rows. I'm gonna try to get them all on this one sheet. I really should be using a bigger. But I want to keep 100% cotton paper. Do I have a bigger sheet of paper? Let's see here. No, I do but I need that for today. And well, I do have that Paul Rubens pad, but that is not 100% cotton paper. And it tends to have sizing issues, which is probably why I need to use it up. So let me grab that real quick. I think this is like the last sheet of this. Maybe it's 2 of them, but we're approaching the last sheet. But this is Paul Rubens 300 gems. This is 140-pound cold press acid free. Um, but this is a cellulose paper. This one is not cotton, but it's bigger than the piece I just had. So I didn't care much for this sketchbook at all, mainly because after I had the the block, I'm saying sketchbook, but it's a block of paper, but mainly after I had the block of paper for about 6 months, I started to notice the sizing was starting to go bad on the paper, moving in towards the center. Now, I had always noticed from like the very beginning that there seemed to have been an issue with the sizing around where the glue binds the block together. And that was from the very first page. So, and I've had other people tell me they've had luck with this paper, but maybe it was just this particular block. But it took me a minute to get through it, and it kind of put me off from this particular line of paper. I actually like Paul Rubens paper, so um, it didn't turn me off from that paper. It just turned me off from this particular line of paper. I like their cotton papers, though. I love I like the cotton papers, and I love the paper that they make that Paul Rubens make with the glitter in it. Oh, so nice. Try it right about right here. Yeah, so nice. I don't know. I think if I keep it cute, that'll be enough. If I keep them close enough, that'll be enough to swatch everything. Then I'll be able to write the information at the bottom. We'll see. All right. Do I want to swatch this way? I really want to swatch it this way. And hopefully you guys are going to be able to see it. Will not let me zoom out anymore. All right. And I'm going to be swatching with, oh, let's use this number 10 round. That might be a whole, it's a number 10 round synthetic square, maybe a little bit too juicy. I don't want the swatches to be that juicy because, well, not until we get to the granulating anyway. So I'm like, I'm gonna drop that brush size to a number 8 round. Jumping into swatching. I think I'm gonna swatch with a flat brush. I had a round, but I'm gonna switch over to this flat, and we're just gonna start here. I don't know that these are in order. These aren't. It doesn't matter. We're just gonna start swatching. Now the thing about Gansai paints is that I really wish I could tell you. I'm probably gonna pick each pan up and tell you what color we're swatching as we swatch it, and we'll run it down with some water. I'm gonna have to make them much smaller if I plan on getting all of them on here. So that color is number 32. Now, some of the pans, like the original pan, only original sets only had the color number on the bottom. It didn't have the actual name. I mean, if somebody want to look up the names as I call out the color numbers, amazing, amazing on you. So next up, this is number 34. This is more of a magenta. And hopefully this paper won't give us any issues with the size as we do this. Next up, we have number 36. Like I said, some of them I'm going to be able to call color names on, some of them I won't. Simply because we just don't have color names. I might end up making adding another swatch sheet to this too. Beautiful colors. I love Gansai paints. These are my go-to paints for crafting. Absolutely, hands down, no question about it. These are my go-to paints for crafting. This next one is number 31. It kind of puts you in the mind of a vermilion or like a cad red. It's very orangey, very orangey. That's the one thing about Gansai paints. They don't have much of a flow to them. Next up, we have number 40, and this is like lemon yellow. I love how bright the paints are. They've always been very gorgeous to me. I love the fact that the formula doesn't break down when you add lots of water to it. Just a really robust, all around good brand of paint. And I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that they don't like Gansai Kuretake Gansai Tambi paints anyway. Now I run across some Gansai sets that I don't care too much for. Um, I actually have one over there. It's not bad. It's just definitely not the same quality as this, but it's pretty decent. Um, but these are just my faves. These are my go-to, and I don't know if it's because it's the first set of Gansai paints I've ever tried, and I'm just kind of partial to them because of that. It's like the Frugal Crafter. If you ask her what her favorite brand of watercolor paints are, she's gonna tell you M. Graham. But then she'll also tell you, but I don't know if that's because I really think M. Graham is the best or because I'm biased because M. Graham was the first professional paint I ever used. And I used it a while before I tried another one. So I don't know if that's the same effect that I'm having that's happening with me and Kuretake Gansai paints because I've tried other Gansai, not to be mistaken for guac. I've tried other Gansai paints, and I don't know. I don't feel like any of them kind of live up to the same quality as Kuretake. But I could be wrong. It could be some out there. That green was number 51. I'm gonna assume that it's like a yellow green, maybe a sap green, maybe a sap green. Uh, this next one is number 53. Um, and we'll see what type of green we're working with here in just a minute. I love the fact that the pans are so big and you can get brushes in there with no problem. That's another reason I love painting with these. It's almost olivey. It's a little olivey. It's a little olivey. I'm thinking we playing around with the olive here. There's no way. I'm definitely going to be having a second sheet. um, Next up, we have number 52. Oh, that's pretty. Um, that's like a, oh, I'm not sure what they're calling this. Maybe that's sap, or like a sap deep, because I know that color does exist. Number 52 though, whatever it is. And next up is number 55, and it kind of looks almost phthalo-ish just from the pan, like emerald green. Yeah, beautiful color. All of them are though. All right, next up is number 64, and I'm gonna assume from the way this pen is worn down that this is ultramarine blue. Okay, yeah, that's what this is. It's definitely gonna always be the most used blue in any palette I have, so it's pretty easy to spot most times. Nice. Next up is number 62. This is probably, is this phthalo blue? This is probably phthalo blue. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be referred to as phthalo blue. I could be wrong. Like I said, you can check the reference numbers, number 62. All right. I don't think they're calling it like Prussian. Maybe they call it Prussian. Maybe that's what they. It looks like phthalo blue to me. Though, I'm just saying. All right. Next up, we have number 61, and this is not sure what blue this is, but it definitely has a white in it. It almost looks like it needs to be in the Art Nouveau set. They might be calling this something like Sky. It's pretty opaque, even thin down. I don't know. I think this might should be in the Art Nouveau set. Maybe it's in the wrong. Maybe I have it in the wrong side, on the wrong side. I don't know. Let's see. Next up, we have number 67, and whatever this is, it is deep and dark. You definitely can't look at the pen. Oh no, that's Prussian blue. It's either Prussian blue or indigo. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Every time I swatch these paints, I'm amazed. Some people like them, some people don't. To each their own. Um, Everything that's for me won't be for you, and vice versa. But I just think these paints, they've never let me down. All right, next up is, what is this? 139. I'm not sure what color this is. It may be purple since I have it behind the indigo. There it is. Can you guys see that? I think you can. There it is. There it is. There it is. So I do have the 18 set in somewhat of rainbow order. And I think I just threw the other sets in behind it as I got them. I need to find something bigger to start storing them in because as I add more to it, this is gonna run out of room. We are gonna skip the white, but that's number 10, white. And then we have number 20, which I'm gonna assume is black based on the way it looks, which makes me wonder why that one is out of way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18. Yeah, those are the original 18 colors, so that's out of order. It should have been over here, but whatever. Whatever. That kind of bothered me for a second. I don't know why. Like, why is it out of order? I forgot that black is pretty opaque. And the great thing about Gansai paints is that there's not a huge shift from wet to dry. I mean, what you put down, depending on how, the consistency of your wash, is pretty much what you get. And last but not least, in the 18 set, which would have been the first Gansais I had, this would be number 46. And I think this is burnt sienna. I think that's what they call it. I'm gonna see if I can get these thinner So I can get a few more on this bottom row than I did on the top row. I tend to want to swatch pretty big here from the looks of it. Now, when I grab the water to extend that swatch, I am not removing any water from my brush. I literally dip it in my water bucket and bring it directly over to the swatching paper. I want it to kind of run back. You guys can see what I meant about the sizing issues on this paper. You can see it here in that purple swatch. You see the roughness there on the end. That's what I meant by the sizing being kind of yucky. But there's only like one other sheet of this paper left. You can see it here on the black as well, how it's kind of rough. And it's always been that way, especially with the like the glue ends of the block. Pretty annoying in all honesty. All right, so now we will move into swatching. Let's go ahead and get, because that was the original 18 color set I had. So then the next set I got was, I want to say the graphite colors. So let's do this. Let's draw a line like this. So I'll know that's a new set, so to speak. And this one is number 230 graphite red. So this is one of the pens that has names on it. So these are going to be graphite colors, and they're going to have graphite mixed into the paint. Very beautiful. You guys know I'm a graphite lover. Lover, lover, lover. Especially water soluble graphite. Well, lover of anything water soluble, I guess. All right, next up we have number 240, which is graphite yellow. Ooh, very deep. Almost green. Love the texture in graphite paints. Um, so outside of granulating paints, if you're looking for a paint that's going to offer you a texture, um, and it'll be a little bit finer than granulation. Granulation can be coarse, coarse pigments. Whereas with graphite paints, because graphite is ground so finely mixed in, you're going to get texture, but it's going to be finer texture than you would get from a granulating paint. This is number 250 graphite green. So, ooh, my goodness. So if you've never tried a graphite paint and you want to paint with texture, I would say give them a try. Graphite paints. You also can get graphite pencils. Derwent makes a beautiful graphite pencil, colored graphite pencil, water soluble set. Stettler makes a beautiful green, tinted watercolor pencil set. That's what they call them. Stettler calls it tinted watercolor pencil, but it's just like Durham's graphite pencils. Very beautiful. You have, of course, the Kuretake um, Gansai Tambi graphite, or not graphite, yeah, graphite paints. This is number 260 graphite blue. You have the Derwent makes a graphite pen paint set as well. Um, there are some other companies out there that offer graphite paints. So, you know, you want to experiment with texture, but you don't like the coarseness of granulation, you might want to give it a try. That's beautiful. It's more like a charcoaly blue. It's so gorgeous. It's almost gray. Next up we have 261 Graphite Violet. Now there is no artist information presented um, with Kuretake paints. This is a good. The thing I like about the graphite line is that the colors are so gorgeous and deep. They're like really beautiful colors for shadows, really earthy type paintings, landscapes, still lives, or you using like those atmospheric muted colors. Ah, my goodness. These graphite colors would be gorgeous for that. And last of the graphites, we're going to have number 270, Graphite Brown. They're all very deep and rich. And the graphite colors are going to pretty much be opaque. Um, well, semi transparent, semi opaque. Let me say it like that. That's a pretty color too. That was Graphite Brown. All right. Let's get those put back into their spots. And now we would move on to I want to do the granulating colors last. Let's go through the Art Nouveau colors. I'm going to be removing this sheet and making a second sheet on the back. All right, let's start in with the Art Nouveau colors. First up, we have number 404, Saffron Yellow. Saffron Yellow. Eh, Vern, we have a winner. Oh my goodness, so gorge. Oh, that's inspiring me. I want to do a painting with yellow now. Very pretty color. All right. Then we have up next number 405, Gold Green. Gold Green. Nice. Very pretty. I gotta start using these more. I'm thinking of so many different applications for these colors, so many different illustrations I've done lately where, ooh, that color could have come in handy. Like, seriously. Next up, we have number 401, Flex Beige. Flex Beige. It really puts me in mind of like opaque, um, um, buff, like a warm, opaque buff, which makes me want to pull out my Roman small paints now. Christy has a nice kind of buffy color in her palette too. Oh, I forget the name of the color, but it's a little bit warmer than like the regular buff titanium, but it's a real nice kind of but cloudy buffy color. Next up is number 301, Old Mauve. Old Mauve. Now these I have not put in rainbow order this particular set. So those sets were. This set is not. But what? What can you do? I'm sure if I hadn't said nothing, you guys probably never would have thought about it. But it bothered, evidently it's bothering my sensibilities because I notice and I can't not notice. Let's see. All right. Beautiful colors. Beautiful. Love. Next up, we have number 18. It is called Pale Pink. Pale Pink. It's really, I mean, it is literally what its name says it is. It is a pale pink. A little bit more warmth to it, and it would be candy. It almost looks like cotton candy pink. It's pretty. It's gonna be opaque, definitely. I mean, no doubt that the Art Nouveau range of colors definitely have more white mixed into it. Especially these lighter colors. Maybe not those yellows, but those two definitely. And this one, without a doubt, is going to have a white mixed into it. This is number 17, Coral Pink. Beautiful color, though. Love this range. If you're into pop art, this would be a nice range. The Art Nouveau range of paints would probably be something you would enjoy. All right. Okay. Next up, we have how many is in that Art Nouveau range? 24? Yeah. Next up, we have number 16, Ecru Beige. Ecru Beige? ECRU? Ecru Beige? Okay. Um, I have to keep looking at my screen to make sure we're not losing light because the sun has gone down. And I may have to close the blinds and turn on the studio lights. I just want to make sure. Definitely no flow. You have to move them and coax them around. All right, that is the first line. Let me get this situated. Okay, because I need to remove this sheet so we can outline a new sheet. And I will check the comments real quick, see if there was any questions as we got through that first page of swatching. We're almost done. Not too much more to go. We'll check our time at that point and see if we're going to call it quits or if we're going to have to revisit this for a part two in a painting. Now, see, I'm pretty sure. All right, so there is the first sheet. I just used a butter knife to remove it. Nothing fancy. Use what you have. Um, so there's the first sheet of swatches. I'm going to be labeling those. Um, Yeah, I'll be labeling those off camera, not on camera. All right. So I am down to the last sheet of this. Thank goodness. I'm ready to be done. And plus, I'm ready to be able to use the backing board to make a journal with so I can have more journals to list. Um, okay, let's get this ruler here. And I'm thinking two is gonna be enough. That's what I'm thinking. Where's my marker? Here we go. This is an Azure marker. This is the line of alcohol markers released by Roy and Langnickel. You guys know I love alcohol markers. I don't know why I haven't done an alcohol marker video in a while. Well, yes, I do. I do. Because typically when I do anything other than watercolor, the video doesn't get many views. That's why. If I typically if I do anything outside of the watercolor niche, although I'm a mixed media artist and most people know this, I mean my oil pastel videos get good views. I even know that some of my watercolor people watch those. Um, The colored pencil videos, well, I expect those to get good views because color pencils really do kind of go hand in hand with watercolor and helping to enhance it. If you've been around the watercolor world for a minute, um, but yeah, alcohol marker videos don't normally do that well. That don't mean I'm gonna stop making them though. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a second to dry. I'm going to let me see. I want you guys to be able to see the colors I'm actually grabbing. So I'm gonna flip this around, and I just need to remember what direction I'm going in. So on this side, we've already swatched this row, and we're working on this row. I have this one out because we've already swatched it. It was the last one we swatched on the first sheet here. So. We're starting out with our next color in the lineup, number 302, Vermilion. Okay, so is this Vermilion then? Nope, number 31. So that color is not Vermilion. I bet you that first color I swatched that I said reminded me of Vermilion was probably Cad Red then. Because here we have number 302, Vermilion. And I'm pretty sure they don't have two Vermilions in the set. Looks pretty much like the Cad Red though. Definitely interchangeable colors. Let's see, move that over a little bit so we can get us a good drag. Make sure we have a good representation of what it looks like when it's watered down. So if you guys are wondering how I'm doing that swatch, I'm swatching in mass tone. Then I'm swatching with a little bit more water than was in the mass tone, and then I drag out with lots of water. That way, once it dries, I kind of get an idea of what it kind of looks like, three different layer levels. And then when I go back and do a glazing layer, um, it kind of helps with two things. It helps me see opacity, um, and it also helps with letting you know if the paint would be good for optical mixing. Um, so a couple different things that I kind of have in the back of my mind as I'm swatching. All right, so that was number 302 Vermilion. Next up is number 304, Alizarin Crimson. This is not Alizarin Crimson. This looks nothing. Okay, well, this is the Art Nouveau version of Alizarin Crimson. It's a pretty opaque color, too. It's pretty, though. But yeah, interesting color, though. Next up, we have number 303. This is called Mauve Taupe. Yeah, I love the entire Art Nouveau line. It is just so whimsical to me. So whimsical. And the fact that they break their paints up into all these different sets with these different lines, but technically it's all one set of paints. So cray. All right. Next up is number 19, Potter's Pink. Potter's Pink. Hmm, eerily close. Definitely white in it, but still. Yeah, this entire. Now, what's funny is this entire Art Nouveau line goes down opaque. Like if you look at the black line as you are actually putting down the swatch, you can see sedimentation, but then as the swatch dries, it clears up and there's just a black line. I think that is so cool. Next up, we have number 601. This is grayish blue. Grayish blue. Grayish blue. Definitely do not have to pre-wet these paints ever. They reactivate super quick and super easy with the tap of a wet brush. Um, is that all of that row? I think it is. Move those back into place. Hmm. Pop out the first one here. Now I can put that one back. All right. So next we have number 602, Cobalt Turquoise Light. Cobalt Turquoise Light. So I actually had color names printed on the back of all the pens with the exception of that original 18 set. So somebody must have suggested to them when they first released those paints that it would be cool to put the name on the back of the pen. And they started doing it with the sets that came after that. All right. This is speculation though. Number 15, Pale Aqua. Pale Aqua. Very pastelly blue. Like, I wonder what I would paint with these uh, without mixing them with anything else. I'm pretty sure I did a review of these. I'm gonna have to go back and find that video so I can remember what did I paint with these as a standalone. Next up, we have 503 Cobalt Green. Cobalt Green. Now, if you're someone who likes clean, transparent colors, I don't think you would like the Art Nouveau line. That's not to say you wouldn't like the entire Kuretake line. I just don't think you'd like the Art Nouveau colors because they're pretty okay. Um, there's definitely white mixed into some of them. Next up is 502 Billard Green. Billard Green. Gorgeous. Gorgeous color. All right. Let you get these, need to make these skintier, skintier. All right. 506 is shadow green. 506 is shadow green. Need to make you skintier. Need to get more of you up here. That's not a bad color. Pretty earthy, actually. Pretty earthy. Next up, we have number 501, pea green. Pea green. All right, for pea green. I like that color. It's pretty. All right, that is it in that row. And then for our last row of Art Nouveau colors, we're going to start with number 505, ivory green. That's actually pretty. And I think it's cool that they included sort of a almost sap green like convenience color in that set. I think that's kind of cool. That's actually real pretty. I would use that in different sets. All right. We have 504, green gray. Green gray. Very deep olive. Definitely like an olive deep. Very gorgeous color. I like all the greens actually. I've never really met a green that I don't like. All right. Next up we have 406, beige gray. Beige gray. Interesting color. Beige gray. This is like a dark beige to me. I don't really see why they're saying gray. I mean, but I wouldn't know the name the color team. So then we have 49, yellow brown. Mm, nice. Very golden. Goldy, orangey brown, if that makes sense. Very pretty. Very pretty. Hmm. Flowed a little bit that time. All right. We have number 402, which is Mars Yellow. Mars Yellow. I'm gonna see if I can get these two. I'm gonna squeeze them on here. I wanna squeeze them on here. That's Mars Yellow. And then last out of the Art Nouveau set, we have number 403, Venetian red. Venetian red. That is gorgeous. My goodness. Ooh, that is so pretty. Okay, there's my brick color. All right, I'm gonna probably play around with these paints for a minute. A couple of paintings, you know. It's amazing how nice some of these colors are. All right, now we're gonna break into our granulating colors. We will start with the set that we already had, which was our Aurora colors, starting with number 771, Aurora Red. Now, it's only 10 of these. I could probably make these bigger, try to get a better idea of granulation. We're going to see if I can get them all on here. That's separating already so pretty. I promise I'm trying to get a good representation of it. Trying to put plenty of pigment in it. So on a drag down, we can get some flow and some room for some granulation to happen there. All right, let's go with the next one, which is number 772, Aurora Pink. Aurora Pink, which really gives me a purple feel. It's definitely a chameleon color with purple in it. Let's add plenty of water to that. It don't have to be a huge swatch. It just needs to have enough water in it for the pigment to do its thing. All right, next up we have number 773, Aurora Orange. 773, Aurora Orange. That is different. Oh, wow. So it's got like a red in it or something. Another um a green. Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. It's got like this green, um, orangey, brownish, reddish. I don't know. It's beautiful. That's what it's got. All right. Um, next up is number 774, Aurora Blue. Okay, again, reddish blues already splitting apart. Add more water to that because, of course, before granulation, we need water. And let's drag that down. Those colors split apart. That's so pretty. And the last Aurora color is going to be the 775 Aurora Violet. Not too bad. Pretty color. It's probably the warmest of the Aurora color set. Very vibrant and pretty. Okay. That is the Aurora color set. Now let's swatch the new edition. And I'm trying to decide, do I want to separate those? I can do it later if I need to. All right. So first up, we are swatching number 780. These are the cosmic colors. This is the second granulating line. This is Cosmic Violet. Cosmic Violet. Let's see what we have here. Okay, now I don't know if the Cosmic Granulating set are supposed to be chameleon colors like the Aurora set was. I think this just may be considered a granulating set. I definitely don't see any chameleon, nothing happening there. Tap some of it into that wet area. Um, it's pretty though. It just didn't give me the same wow effect right off that the Aurora colors did. Let's try this Cosmic number 779. This is Cosmic Blue. I wonder if they're gonna all be blue. Well, no, they're not all blue. I can see that. That's the same question. Um, but just interesting. Let me add some water to that so I can get some of the particles up for some real granulation testing there. Uh, be honest, I don't see much granulation happening. Uh, ooh, okay, I see it as it dries. Oh my goodness. Ooh, I was wrong. They have chameleon abilities. It just happens as it dries. Oh, so pretty. Oh wow. I take that back. My bad. Well, I can't wait to see what the next one does. That's gorgeous. I mean, but you would have to paint with them. Well, I guess that's why you should swatch your paints. To know that it's going to have that effect after the fact. All right, this is number 778 Cosmic Green. 778 Cosmic Green. Get a bigger swatch up top. And then let's a little bit more water in that. Yeah, like so. Then let's drag that down. All right. Ooh, that one has an orange split apart to it. So like this blue has got like this purpley pink kind of chameleon split. This blue seems to be having an orangey brownish. Oh my goodness, so pretty. It's gonna be so interesting to see what the green does. Okay. Next up we have Number 777, Cosmic Olive. Okay, cosmic. It's getting like this starry effect. Ooh, maybe I need to do a galaxy painting with the granulating colors. All right, let's see here. Let me add water. They don't work without water. And let's drag that down. It's gonna tap some of that in. All right, that was Cosmic Olive. I think this is the order they need to be in. And last but not least, 776, Cosmic Red. I cannot wait to see what this splits. It'll be so nice if this splits apart and have like yellow and gold undertones. I would love that. That would be so cool. Add water to it. Make sure we get enough pigment on there for it to do its thing. Then we'll drag it down with just regular water. And I'll tap a little bit around in that puddle just so we can see what we get. All right, my friends, and that is all of them. Not sure how many that is. Did somebody count? I didn't count. How many per row? Um, 3, 26, 12, 24. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and 5 is 10. It's 34. 7, 39, 40. And 18 is 58. So 58 colors. Okay. We swatched, well, we actually swatched 49 because we didn't swatch the white. But this is what the entire palette looks like. You know, that's all the Gansai colors I have at the moment. Um, nope, take that back. Subtract 6 because that bottom row is Boku Undo. That is not, I don't think that's Kuretake. Yeah, that is, yeah, that's Boku Undo. Shadow colors down there. That's not Kuretake Gansai Tambi. Yeah. So I have those in here simply because they're the same style pans. But that is all of the swatches. Let's take a look here. See what we have. Here is the first sheet. Okay, so I've always been in love with the standard 18 colors without the shadow of a doubt. I've always loved those. That's my go-to set, especially for crafting. If I'm doing any type of work in my junk journal and I grab a watercolor set, it's typically these. Um, you used to be when I did a lot of card making. That would be the set that I use. You know, it's just really useful in that aspect because it's so versatile. Thin it down to a watercolor, use it thickly as a gouache, right? So this next set of colors here was an addition after the fact of the 18. Well, technically, the next set that I got would have been the 24 Art Nouveau colors. I think I got those first. Very gorgeous, curated range of colors if you just wanted to get that set of them. Just know that that Art Nouveau range, some of those colors are rather opaque, some of them are transparent. It's not your standard traditional palette, so you're not going to necessarily get your noticeable primaries in there. You're just going to have to kind of mix. I mean, the red is the most neutral red you're going to get in that entire Art Nouveau set is going to be that vermilion, which is definitely has more of an orange tint to it than being a neutral red. You're not going to get a primary blue, really. You have a cyan leaning color. I forget what they call that one. But these colors are more of a, like I said, curated style palette. I think that those colors would work really great for somebody that's into pop art, really pastel type paintings. The next set I added in would have been the graphite set of six. I love this. I like using this set, these six with the Boku Undo colors that I showed you guys. I like using them with my Derwent Graphitent pencils. I like using them with my Derwent Graphitent pan paints. I like using them with my Stettler tinted watercolor pencils. So anything that has a graphite to it, a graphite feel. I had a pack of colored graphite, water soluble graphite pencils. Um, and I do not know what happened to that set of pencils. I do not know. I really would like to find it because I would like to do some still life work using tinted graphite, um, or maybe even some plain air work using tinted graphite would be cool. But I love those colors, so rich. And as you can see, in none of it, because they all have the same formula, because although these were accumulated in different sets, if you was to buy the entire range of the Kiritaki Gansai Tambi um, watercolor paints, you would get all of these in that entire range. Uh, let's see. What was I saying? So yeah, gorgeous colors. Really, really love those. Some of my go-tos for when I'm looking for a watercolor or graphite in it. So the next ones would have been the granulating colors, which the first set of granulating colors, there's only five. And I think they kind of cheat you in the granulating packages because when they do the granulating packages, they give you five full pans and then one empty pan. Like, it's not like they make their paints in tubes. It's not like you can go out and buy a tube of their color and pour it in there. Um, their paints don't crack and fall out of the pan, so there wouldn't be a reason to need to repan anything. So I don't understand the five colors plus one empty half pan, other than it just being a marketing ploy to make you feel better about the fact that they're charging you like you're paying for six full pans of paint. That's the only thing I can see if I'm just gonna be honest about it. Because in both the granulating color set one as well as the granulating color set two, you're going to get five full pans of paint and one empty half pan. And on both packages, it kind of spins it with this marketing sale of five colors plus one pan. Like, whatever. Give me six colors. Um, but with that said, from I guess I should have divided it. See if I can draw a line down it without going into either one of the colors. Okay, so this is granulating set one. They're called the Aurora colors. Very gorgeous line of colors that all have some type of red mixed into it. Um, I don't think it's a set that I would suggest trying to get and use on its own. I don't feel like you have a diverse enough color range. It's definitely not a mixing set. You know, how you can get a five color mixing set that's got your primaries and maybe a convenience color or two in it, and then bam, you can take that mixing set and create dozens and dozens and dozens of paintings from it. That's not going to be the case if you were to just pick up the Aurora granulating set. Now the next second granulating set, the one that we added today, we added 5 colors, and those were the cosmic granulating colors. Again, very beautiful range. The huge difference is with the Aurora set, they seem to be more chameleon based upon painting. You can start to see those colors split apart the minute that they hit the water, the minute that they start to granulate out and diffuse out. You can start to see the different colors. Whereas with the cosmic colors, um, it took a little bit more. Still, I don't really see it. I see it coming through more. I can definitely see the granulation better now that they're drying. But the whole chameleon effect, the shifting effect, I'm starting to see as it dries, and it seems to be a little bit more subtle in the cosmic colors than it is in the aurora colors. But that's just my opinion. Maybe that's just the way my eye is picking up on it. So I'm just not, I'm not sure just yet. I'm not sure just yet. I love, and see, this is what I was saying when I was swatching this red. I was hoping that when it split apart, it would have a yellow pigment in it, and I can see that it does. There's like this yellowy orange kind of granulating texture coming here, and you can see it there around the opacity line as well. Here in the green, you're getting I'm getting a gray, definitely a gray. There seems to be yellow in it. There's definitely a green, and I'm not sure if they're using a green pigment. Um, uh, I'm not sure if they're using. Well, I'm assuming they're using pigments. I'm just going to assume that they're using pigments. But very beautiful, very, very, very beautiful. I love this. Now this green, I don't really see much effect with that one. I see that we have some granulation, and let's just make sure that there's granulation. Yes, that's granulation. That's not flocculation. So, um, but I don't see any splitting, color splitting there. Now in this blue, you have some orange splitting out. It seems to be splitting apart into lighter and darker shades of blue. Very beautiful. Sort of desaturated that one, but still very beautiful. And then this first blue, and so this first blue seems to have a split. There's some beautiful like magenta, um, a hue coming through, maybe a purple. That split happens up in here around the granulation and the texture. So, um, more so with the cosmic colors, you start to see the effect the more they dry. Whereas with the aurora colors, to me, it seems like you were able to see the effects right away. So that's the major difference between the two sets. But overall, between both sets, very beautiful colors. Here's the thing. I still don't think that even if you were to buy both granulating sets, that is a robust enough of a palette to not need to add other colors to augment it. Like I wouldn't suggest just getting those 10 colors and saying that that's your watercolor palette. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there you have that, friends. So yeah, friends, there you have it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed hanging out, talking, laughing. Hopefully you did something in the background that didn't make this watching session too boring for you. But I'm really happy that you decided to hang out with me as I got the chance to finally swatch all of my Kuretake Gansai Tambi paints. Um, and this is what my collection looks like so far. It will continue to grow, hopefully, and as we continue to expand the palette, we will continue to share with you guys what we're adding to it. Um, Eleanor said this is the first watch video she ever sat through to the end. Oh, thank you, friend. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you hung out the whole time. The colors are gorgeous, man. Colors are absolutely gorgeous. Thank all of y'all for hanging out. I really, really appreciate it. Y'all know our arts love you. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go out, enjoy your week. Now, this Wednesday, we have a pre-recorded video dropping. Keeping in mind, it's going to be centered around the Sennelier, La Partie Aquarelle, fine student watercolors. I just like saying it, whether I say it properly or not. It's just like saying it. Um, so definitely keep your ears on the ground for that video dropping this Wednesday. I think it's going to be a complete video, straight through. We're going to look at unboxing and swatching, and I'm going to try to get a couple of demos done with it between now and Wednesday's video dropping. Considering the fact that today is Monday, it may only be one painting, but hey, um, they're not too different from a bunch of other student grade paints that I've used. So yeah. That'll be dropping this Wednesday. Tonight in Patreon, we are going to be exploring painting. You see, in the Creation Station, if you're not familiar with what goes on over in Patreon, so um, there's a lot of things. One, there's one monthly real time tutorial, in depth, walk you through every single thing, video release. Every other Sunday, so 2 Sundays a month, there is Watercolor Sunday Fun Day lives, where everything in those live videos are centered around water soluble products, or what would be considered a watercolor product. Um, then every Monday night at 8, we have the Creation Station. Now, the Creation Station is a mixed media live. We will, can, and do create with some of everything in that live. It could be oil pastels, it could be alcohol markers, it could be watercolor crayons, or colored pencils, or watercolor pencils, or gouache, or inks, or watercolors, or we may create a sketchbook. Who it may be crafting. It is literally the Creation Station live. So it's about all types of creating. Um, and most of the time, it's where I experiment it. And I let you guys watch me experiment with things for the first time, run into mistakes, run into problems, learn to fix them, all right there live with you guys. So tonight, I am going to be tackling a woodpecker bird for the very first time. I've already posted the link for the live. I've already posted the traceable, and you will have to be a Creation Station member to access that traceable. Um, for those people who need a little bit of help with the drawing, if you decide you want to try the woodpecker with me tonight, we are going to be using. I haven't decided what paints we're going to use yet. We'll get to that point when we get to that point. Now, I am going to be doing a demo with these paints, and I'm probably just going to do it as a time lapse on the channel. I'll probably drop it as a special release, because I actually did prepare something to paint today. I just didn't expect for things to run as long as they did. So, Creation Station members, I will see you tonight, where we will be tackling um, another new creation. And as far as the rest of my artsy crew is concerned, I'll see you Wednesday for the pre recorded release. Until then, friends, thank you so very much. Enjoy your week. Remember, I artsy love you. And as I tell you at the end of every single video, just keep creating, friends. Bye.